Your life doesn't change because you wish it to. It changes because you do. You can rearrange your furniture, buy a new car, move to a new city. But if your thinking remains the same, your results will follow you wherever you go. That's why one of the greatest lessons I ever learned was this: your income, your relationships, and your opportunities will never exceed your personal development. If you want more, you have to become more. It's not about working harder at your job. It's about working harder on yourself. When I was a young man, I thought the secret to wealth was hustle, more hours, more effort, more grind. But I discovered that effort without evolution only keeps you tired, not rich. The turning point came when I started changing what I believed was possible for me. The mind is a garden. You can't grow roses if you keep planting weeds. Every thought you repeat, I can't, I'm not ready, I'll never have enough, becomes a root that strangles your potential. I once had to sit down and write out every belief that was holding me back. Things I didn't even realize I'd accepted from my environment, from people who meant well but didn't know better. Then I replaced each one with something empowering. I can learn. I can grow. I can build wealth the right way. It sounds simple, but that process rewired how I saw the world. And I began to surround myself with people who thought bigger than me. People who didn't talk about problems, they talked about progress. When you sit at a table with people who are planning their future, you stop complaining about your present. Your environment shapes your expectations, and your expectations shape your actions. That's why I always say, don't just seek comfort, seek challenge. Growth only happens when you step outside what's familiar. Each morning I start my day in quiet reflection, 5 minutes of gratitude and 5 minutes of focus. Gratitude keeps me grounded, focus keeps me growing. You can't build a new life without a renewed mind. So if you truly want your world to change, don't start with your circumstances. Start with your thoughts. Because the moment your mind shifts, your life follows. There comes a point in every person's life when they have to look in the mirror and tell the truth, not the kind that makes you feel good, but the kind that sets you free. The truth that says, I am where I am because of the choices I've made. That realization changed my life. I used to think circumstances had the final say. The economy, the government, my upbringing, I had a long list of reasons why life wasn't fair. But then I discovered something remarkable. You can't change the wind. You can't change the seasons, but you can change yourself. And once I learned that, everything began to shift. The moment you stop blaming and start building, you take back your power. Responsibility isn't a burden. It's the key to freedom. When you accept that everything in your life is a result of your past decisions, you also accept that everything in your future can be changed by your next ones. The victim waits for luck. The creator builds systems. I used to meet people who would say, if only my boss paid me more, I'd work harder. But life doesn't work that way. You work harder, become more valuable, and then the world pays you more. That's the sequence of success. I remember a time in my early years when I made a business mistake that cost me nearly everything I had. For a while, I wanted to blame bad timing, bad partners, bad markets. But blaming doesn't build. So I sat down and asked myself, what could I have done differently? That question, not why did this happen, but what can I learn, became my compass. I realized mistakes aren't punishment, they're tuition. Every failure pays for a lesson, if you're wise enough to collect it. And here's the real power of responsibility. It turns life into a choice again. You stop saying, I have to, and start saying, I choose to. You choose to save, to study, to improve, to lead. When you remove excuses from your vocabulary, you remove limits from your destiny. The world doesn't change because it gets easier, it changes because you get better. So take ownership. Stand tall in your story, because the day you decide to be fully responsible for who you are, that's the day your new life truly begins. There's a dangerous trap that many fall into when trying to change their life, relying on motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It comes like the wind and leaves just as quickly. I've seen countless people start with fire in their eyes, only to fizzle out a week later because they waited for feelings to drive them. That's why the true architect of transformation doesn't depend on emotion, they depend on discipline. Discipline is steady, predictable, and unstoppable when cultivated. It doesn't shout, it builds quietly day by day. I learned early in my journey that ambition without structure is like planting seeds in a storm. You may hope for growth, but hope alone will not yield a harvest. What transforms a life is the disciplined execution of small, consistent actions over time. Every morning I commit to reading, reflecting, and planning before the chaos of the day begins. I commit to tracking progress, even in tiny habits, because what gets measured gets improved. And I reward consistency, not fleeting bursts of effort. It's the daily choices, the ones no one sees, that compound into results that everyone notices. Discipline also teaches patience, which is essential for rebuilding. When life knocks you down, emotion tempts you to rush, to react, to take shortcuts. But the world favors those who can delay gratification, who choose the long-term gain over short-term pleasure. I remember a time when I had the chance to chase a quick, flashy opportunity that promised immediate income. It felt exciting, thrilling even, but I paused. I asked myself if this aligned with the disciplined path I had set for my growth. I waited, I worked the plan, and months later, the rewards from consistent effort far exceeded what that shortcut could have delivered. To rebuild your life, you must create non-negotiables, daily routines that anchor your progress. Track your habits, not your hopes. Write down what you do each day to move closer to your goals, no matter how small it seems. These deliberate, repeated actions form the backbone of lasting change. Discipline doesn't just get results, it rebuilds character, fortifies resilience, and shapes your identity into someone who can handle the wealth, success, and challenges life inevitably brings. Small, steady, disciplined actions practiced daily are the bridge from the life you have to the life you dream of. When we talk about rebuilding your life and creating wealth, the journey begins with the image you hold of yourself. Most people fail not because opportunity doesn't exist, but because they can't see themselves deserving it. The mind is a mirror. It reflects what you believe about yourself, and until you change that reflection, the world outside remains unchanged. I've learned over the years that the most powerful investment you can make isn't in stocks or real estate, it's in your self-image. When you upgrade your inner picture of who you are, the outer results inevitably follow. Every morning, take a few minutes to visualize yourself as capable, confident, and successful. See it vividly: the way you carry yourself, the decisions you make, the respect you command, the life you lead. This is not fantasy, it is programming your subconscious to align your daily actions with the life you aspire to. I remember when I first committed to this practice, I would stand in front of the mirror and affirm, I am capable. I am disciplined. I am creating value every day. At first, it felt awkward, even silly, but slowly the words started guiding my actions, influencing the choices I made, and opening doors I hadn't imagined. It's not enough to see it, you must also act it. Dress the part, speak the part, and move with the confidence of the person you aim to become. Your environment and interactions will respond accordingly. People notice the energy of competence and ambition. When you present yourself as someone in control of your life and finances, opportunities are naturally drawn to you. This doesn't mean arrogance or pretending. It's authenticity aligned with your highest potential. Daily affirmations reinforce this self-image. Write them down, speak them aloud, feel them in your body. Statements like, I create value and wealth naturally, or I am disciplined and capable in every area of my life, slowly rewire your beliefs. Your self-image becomes a blueprint, and everything you do starts building upon it. Wealth, confidence, and opportunity are rarely the result of luck. They are the result of aligning your actions with the person you believe you are. Upgrade your inner image, and the world will begin to upgrade itself to match it. The life you want exists first in your mind before it manifests in reality. You see, one of the most underestimated truths about success and wealth is that your environment literally shapes the person you become. The people you spend your time with influence your thoughts, your habits, and ultimately your destiny. I've learned the hard way that if you surround yourself with negativity, complacency, or small thinking, it slowly erodes your ambition. On the other hand, when you immerse yourself in the company of those who think bigger, act bigger, and demand more of themselves, your own standards rise almost automatically. It's as if the energy of growth is contagious. Think about it like this. If your closest companions are constantly complaining about money, jobs, or life, those patterns of thought become your default. But when you choose to associate with people who are disciplined, focused, and striving toward excellence, their mindset begins to seep into yours. I remember when I first joined a small group of ambitious individuals early in my career. At first, I felt out of place. Their discipline, their clarity, and their hunger were intimidating. But over time, I realized that being around them challenged me to elevate my own thinking, my habits, and my self-expectations. It forced me to raise my standards simply because I could no longer justify mediocrity to myself. Practical steps are simple but profound. Seek out mentors who have already walked the path you aspire to tread. Learn from their successes, but even more from their failures. Engage in masterminds or growth-focused groups that encourage accountability and consistent improvement. These circles act as accelerators, pushing you toward your goals faster than you could alone. And equally important, reduce or eliminate your exposure to those who thrive on excuses, negativity, or small thinking. They drain energy and subtly convince you that your dreams are unrealistic. Remember, you don't rise alone. Your surroundings either elevate or diminish you. The people in your life become the mirrors of your potential. Choose those who inspire, challenge, and push you to think bigger, and you'll find that your own mind begins to expand, your habits sharpen, and your results improve. Growth, wealth, and success are rarely achieved in isolation. They are the natural outcome of the company you keep. Be intentional with who you let influence your mind. It will determine the life you build. Too many people drift through life as if the currents of circumstance are steering them, never realizing that the power to chart your own course lies entirely in your hands. I have found that clarity of purpose is the engine that drives extraordinary achievement. Without it, even the hardest work can feel meaningless, and even abundance can leave you feeling empty. You see, wealth is not merely about money, it's about having a life that reflects your deepest values, your vision, and your reason for being. When you know your why, every step you take, every decision you make, begins to have direction and meaning. Purpose gives you focus, but vision gives you energy. I've witnessed countless individuals working tirelessly without pause, yet achieving little, simply because they lacked a guiding vision. Purpose tells you what to aim for, vision energizes you to take consistent action toward that aim. Early in my own journey, I realized that to create real wealth, not just the kind that fills a bank account, but the kind that enriches life, I needed a clear map. I wrote down my personal mission statement, the values I would never compromise, the principles I would uphold, and the contributions I wished to make. That simple act of definition transformed vague ambition into actionable steps. Practical steps are simple, but they require discipline. Start by writing a personal mission statement. What do you stand for? What legacy do you want to leave? Then translate that mission into measurable goals: 1 year, 5 year, and 10-year targets that align with your deepest purpose. Finally, evaluate your daily actions. Do they support your long-term vision, or are they merely reactive? Each choice should move you closer to the life you've intentionally designed. I've learned that without purpose and vision, wealth is fleeting with them. Even modest means can produce remarkable results. Let your life be guided by a plan of your own design. Align your actions, discipline your habits, and focus your mind on the larger vision, and you will not just accumulate wealth, you will build a life worth living. Design your life with intention, and let every day move you closer to the legacy you imagine. Life has a way of testing our composure, often when we least expect it. Money fluctuates, opportunities shift, and people sometimes fail us. But the one thing that determines whether we flourish or falter is how we manage our own emotions. I've learned that emotional mastery is not about suppressing feelings, it's about directing them wisely. Wealth builders stay steady while others react impulsively. They understand that a calm mind allows clear decisions, even amidst turbulence. I recall early in my journey when a business deal fell through unexpectedly. My first instinct was frustration, even anger. But I paused, reflected, and reminded myself that losing one battle didn't lose the war. That pause, that control over my immediate emotion, allowed me to see an alternative path that eventually led to greater gains. The philosophy is simple: you must learn to discipline your disappointment. Setbacks are inevitable, but emotional reactions can magnify small problems into disasters. Discipline doesn't mean denying your feelings. It means choosing your response rather than letting your feelings choose it for you. By cultivating patience and composure, you create the space to evaluate opportunities rationally, make smarter financial decisions, and maintain healthy relationships that support your growth. Practically, this begins with simple, repeatable habits. Pause before reacting to setbacks or criticism. That brief moment of reflection prevents rash decisions and preserves your energy for constructive action. Journaling emotions daily is another powerful tool. Writing down what you feel and why you feel it brings clarity, reduces internal chaos, and transforms frustration into insight. Finally, channel your negative emotions into focused improvement. Every disappointment contains a lesson. Every frustration hides an opportunity. Use your energy to learn, adapt, and grow. I've observed countless individuals let temporary emotions dictate long-term outcomes. Don't allow yourself to be among them. Master your emotions, and you master not only your wealth-building journey, but your life itself. Discipline your feelings today, and tomorrow your actions will follow with clarity and power. Too many people chase success as if it's a number in a bank account or a title on a business card. But I've learned, and I hope you will too, that real success is not about accumulation. It's about transformation. Success is something you attract by the person you become, not by the money you collect. The journey of building wealth forces you to develop patience, discipline, creativity, resilience, and integrity. These qualities are the true currency of life, far more valuable than dollars. I remember starting with very little, yet every challenge I faced demanded that I grow. Each skill I mastered, each habit I developed, each relationship I nurtured became a stepping stone, not only toward financial stability, but toward becoming someone capable of handling success responsibly. The philosophy is clear: your results will never exceed your personal development. Money, recognition, and opportunity follow the person who has built themselves to be worthy of them. Chasing accumulation without becoming the person who can sustain it is a recipe for frustration. People who focus only on wealth often find themselves stressed, insecure, or mismanaging what they have. In contrast, those who cultivate character, wisdom, and skill naturally attract resources, opportunities, and people that amplify their impact. Practically, this requires a shift in focus. Concentrate on building your character, refining your skills, and expanding your mind. Judge progress not by the size of your bank account, but by how much better, wiser, and more capable you've become. Measure success by the impact you have on others, how you elevate people around you, how you contribute to your community, and how you leave every place better than you found it. Prioritize growth over gain, influence over income, and contribution over consumption. When you redefine success as becoming, wealth becomes a byproduct rather than a target, and life transforms into a journey of meaningful growth. Focus on who you're becoming, and the rewards will follow naturally.